do, my brothers? What it do, my sisters? To all my kinfolk and all my G's out there, you already know. Number one, great grand rising to you. Second of all, I hope you are reflecting on some stuff from this past weekend on this good old Moon Day. Monday, Moon Day. It's a day that you're supposed to reflect on the weekend. Saturday, Sunday, Friday, whatnot. But I know y'all don't want to hear nothing about all of that. But right now, out here in Pensacola, Florida, it's like 30-something fucking degrees out here. I had to check the weather out. They said that it's actually a cold front that's blanketing just America, period. So I was like, wow. But enough of all of that. Right now, I still want to talk about the ancestors, but it's like other stuff that the spirit keep on bringing up. So hopefully sometime this week I can probably drop the video talking about the ancestors, known and unknown, to you. Give you some examples and whatnot, ways that you can honor, you know, your loved ones that are not here with us no more. Well, physically not here with us, but energy wise, spirit wise, they're here. So trust me, they're here. But this is something that me and my wife was talking about this past Friday, leading up to yesterday. Accountability. You know, a lot of people in this world, they are not accountable for any of their shit. I mean, none whatsoever. And the spirit had broke something down to me. It allowed me to watch something a couple weeks ago on Netflix. It's Netflix got a documentary. I forgot the name of it, but it's based upon. It's called African Town. African Town. It's in Mobile, Alabama, but it's the story of. I believe the gentleman was a lawyer or a politician. Somebody had betted him that he cannot, because quote unquote, at this point in time, they was getting rid of slavery. So if you had got caught bringing slaves in, it was like death. So it was a bet that somebody had threw at him, and he got a captain. They got a boat, and they actually went over to Africa, Ghana, I believe, and they got some Africans. They got some slaves. Brought the slaves back and whatnot, and everything is documented. Now, I can honestly say that this is the first time that I have seen documentations of an actual slave ship, and then it was even y'all gotta check it out. Y'all gotta check it out what I'm talking about. But everything is for real, because the guy and them, they wound up burning the boat, but a fellow brother had found that him and another brother, they did some research, live research, and kind of listen to self, spirit, and they wound up finding a piece of the boat that burnt down, because the people they wound up burning everything. Now, where I'm going with this with accountability, because it's about to fuck y'all up. Because when the spirit brought it to me, I was like, wow, that's deep. at the end of the day, the slave, I believe his name might have been Lewis, last name Lewis. The man that brought him over had asked him, "Why ain't you happy?" And the man said, Mr. Lewis said, "I just want to go back home with my family." And he's like, "Well, where you at now is better than where I took you from." And he said, "No." He said, where I come from, I had my own home, I had land, I had stuff. And he's like, "Well, you just need to get over it because you're here now." So I'm kind of paraphrasing that one. So he was like, "Well, if you're not going to take me back home, let me buy some land." So the man said, "Fool, I'd be crazy as hell if I sell you land." So what they wound up doing, they wound up gathering up all their money, and they wound up buying basically a little small piece of pie. Make a long story short, the land that they bought, the land that was surrounding that land, the man that had brought them over here, he owned all that shit. And I bullshit you not. They went so far deep on the people created shell companies to get the shit out of they basically a trust fund company. And they wind up selling a lot of that land to some paper mills, which I rode by, some oil refineries, a bunch of different warehouses and everything. And people not being accountable. You know, them individuals, they're never gonna be accountable for shit. And it's sad because in this time that we live in now, it's just not people, ordinary people like, let's say your siblings or your cousin or your friends, hell, even your spouse or even your loved one, or even your kids too, that are not accountable. This accountability shit, it plays a bigger part with a lot of people. And my message for today is it only takes one person to start to be accountable for themselves. I understand you cannot be accountable for your grandfather or your great-great-grandfather's sins. But let me say this, and as Pastor Dow say, listen to me and listen to me good. Future generations, or even your generation, will pay that karmic sin and that karmic debt for your grandfather, great-great-grandfather, great-great-great-great-great-grandfather's sins. So let me just be clear about that one, all right? Whatever wrong they did back then, your generation and the future generation is gonna pay for that shit, or they paying for it right now. So the quicker, the faster that you, or hell, even myself, can just accept certain things for the way that they are. Now that accountability, it loosens up. It's not a knot. You done loosen up the knot. Now basically you're free. And the accountability, it kind of plays a part like with karma. I'm pretty sure y'all already know about karma. You know, what goes around come around. The energy that you put out is the energy that you get back you know, to you and everything. You walk around, you treat people like shit, it's gonna come right back on you. But regardless if it come back on you today, tomorrow, 2 months from now, 5 years from now, it's gonna come back. So this is my message. I hold myself accountable for all of my past fuck-ups and all of the wrong shit that I did in the past. I dealt with it. I put the shadow work in to get over some personal issues from when I was a youth and even leading up till now. Some choices and some decisions I made that I kind of regret and whatnot, but we're here now. So I am being accountable for all of my shit. Now, I feel better by me just doing that and me just saying that. You got to be accountable for yourself. And I really feel like if each and every person can start to be accountable for their own self, then this is gonna be a nice little movement within everybody. Everybody. It don't matter what quote unquote color you are. It don't matter. Because that's another thing also. When it comes to source, universe, it ain't no color. I'm just telling y'all that. It ain't no color. And if you don't believe me, do your own research. So that's the message of the day, fam. You be accountable for yourself. The actions and the choices and the decisions that you choose to make, live with that shit, admit that shit, and move on from that shit. You know, if you could go back and change some things, pretty sure you would. But be accountable for the things now. Also, the fuck people that have came in your life, that came in your life for a reason, to teach you something. So I hope you paid attention to that lesson. But enjoy the rest of y'all day, fam. I know I am. Warming up some breakfast right now. It's time to eat. Y'all already know. Peace, love, and joy. Holla.